If you're following us over on Instagram over at Coach Carp 76, you'll see here we did a poll of our top power bar finishes, with stainless steel being number one, but in the close second, which I was very surprised, was the bare steel finish. And that's probably because there's no coating over the knurling, and it gives you a better grip similar to stainless steel. One drawback is the corrosion resistance. Now this is the bare steel equipment Iron Skull Power Bar in bare steel. Let's go over some of the specs. First of all, it's a powerlifting bar. And you'll notice it has the powerlifting knurl marks, one knurl mark. It does have a center knurl. It is a 28.5 millimeter shaft, but if you measure it on the knurled portions, you'll notice that it's right in line with most other power bars. It's actually almost 29, if not 29 millimeters. 28.5 millimeters to 29 millimeters is a pretty standard diameter for most of your power bars. And this one, it does have the bare shaft with the bare steel sleeves, and these have the 2-inch spacing on the collar. So these give you a little bit more room, as you can see here on the uprights. This is a rogue rack with a 49-inch space here, and they give you a little bit more room for your plates, which I actually personally like. Now this bar is rated for 200K PSI tensile strength, which makes it a very stiff bar. And with it being the 28.5 and closer to 29 on the knurled portions, it's a much stiffer bar than you would see most 28.5s. I'm really considering it at 29, but that's just my opinion. I know it's listed as a 28, but I'll show you some of the measurements I did here, and I actually got right at 29 on the knurled portions of the bar. This bar is also made in the USA. It's a 45-pound bar. One note about this bare steel version of the bar is that it's actually a medium aggressive knurl, so it's pretty grippy. I would say very grippy, but it's not sharp. Like if I'm gripping it as hard as I can, and you see I don't really have any kind of indentions or teeth marks in my hand, where on my Iron Skull Power Bar in Cerakote, it's actually very sharp. This one is a volcano style knurl, but the volcanoes are cut very, very low. The tops of the peaks are cut off quite a bit. So it gives it a very grippy knurl, where in my Cerakote version, they're very tall peaks and just the very tip is cut off. I'll show you some pictures of that here. I'll try to add a couple pictures here so you can see what I'm talking about, a close-up of the knurl. And you'll see, now this one you're going to be able to do all your major powerlifting lifts with it, even some overhead press, because this knurling is not very aggressive, even though it does have a center knurl and it's very grippy. I mean, you can see that. Me personally, this bar kind of reminds me of the B&R bar. There's been a few versions of that. I think the most recent one is made by Rogue Fitness. You didn't know the B&R bar is the Mike Bergner and Mark Rippetoe bar designed for Rogue Fitness to their specifications. The only main difference in that one and this one is that it does have dual knurling marks because I use it for Olympic lifting as well as strength lifting. And if you don't know, Mark Rippetoe is the creator of Starting Strength, basic barbell training. So they use the main 4 or 5 lifts in that. They do bench, squat, deadlift, and what they call the press or overhead press. This bar, I've had a couple B&R bars, and this bar is very close to it, except for that knurling, that extra Olympic knurling ring. But as far as the knurling, the bare steel finish, that bar is a bare steel bar. It's bare steel sleeves and bare steel shaft. But I looked earlier, and that bar is around $370 shipped to you from Rogue. This bar has very similar specs. The only main difference I see is that extra ring. So if you're not doing a lot of Olympic lifts, this would be great for you for something like starting strength, or just, you know, a multi-purpose bar, power bar in your gym. And then this one has a little bit thicker sleeves, which I actually prefer. The B&R bar has some thicker sleeves, but they're not quite as thick. They're more like a 1 inch, 1 1/4. These are like about 2 inches. So you get the extra space. But if you have a Rogue rack or a Monster rack or any of the 3x3 racks, I would highly recommend something with the wider sleeves. I think it just helps out a lot with your walkouts and your re-racking the bar. I find it very beneficial. But this one, it does have the single knurling mark, but they're cut in. What I've seemed to notice is it looks like they put this on a lathe, knurl the whole section, and then go back in and cut that ring in, because it's a little bit deeper. It's a little bit deeper than some of the other ones you see. I'll try to get you a close up of that too, so you can see it in the video. It's hard to see from this point, but I really like the bar overall. The one note about this is it's a medium aggressive knurl. I know a lot of you guys that have been interested in asking me questions about the Iron Skull Power Bars is because it's a very aggressive knurl, and that you're into powerlifting and you want something that really gives you a good grip. So all your powerlifting moves, bench, squat, deadlift, etc. And this one is a medium aggressive knurl. So it's very grippy. It doesn't have those high mountain peaks. So for those of you that don't like a very aggressive bar but still want a solid bar, as I was saying, the B&R bar was about $370 shipped, where this one I believe is about $249, and that's shipped to you because Bear Steel Equipment includes shipping in their prices. So you can get a similar bar for quite a bit less. And then if you didn't know, I do have a code, Coach Carp, or I do have a code CC10 at Bear Steel Equipment that can save you some money as well. If you're interested in a bar like this or any of the other bars that they offer, you can use that discount code there and save yourself some money at checkout. Now, would I recommend this bar? Yes, I would. I think it's a great bar for the price. It's made in the USA. It's a stiff power bar at 200K tensile strength. I do like the wider sleeves and the cutting knurling. So who's this bar for? I think it's for anyone in the home gym, except for someone in a high humidity area. Now, this is a bare steel bar, so corrosion could be a thing over time. I think it even recommends that you brush down and oil the bar, when you get it, or a couple times a month, etc. To keep I'm located in Tennessee, and we have a very high humidity area. So I've owned Bear Steel's bars in the past, and one thing that I didn't like about them, I'm not scared to do a little work and rub them down and things like that. But what you will notice is that this happens a lot faster in a humid climate. I'm in a garage in Tennessee, and Bear Steel bars just don't do around here because we have very high humidity, some of the highest in the nation. You can still keep it down, and if you use your 3-in-1 oil and make some good barbell brushes out there. Barbell Rescue is a really good one, and the hybrid athletic brush, those are both really good brushes. We might talk about some more of those in the future, but especially if you have a Bear Steel bar, I'd highly recommend getting one of those and some 3-in-1 oil. What I normally do when I get a Bear Steel bar in is I'll just take it, rub it all down, I'll brush it down, and then I'll wipe it down with the 3-in-1 oil and just do like a microfiber cloth, and that gives you a thin layer of protection on your Bear Steel bars. And then do that, you'll see as you need to in the area you live, but you may need to do that once a week or every other week or once a month, depending on your high humidity levels. But if you're in a basement gym or you're in an area where the heating air is always regulated, if you're in a regulated climate, then I think you're going to be okay indoors. You shouldn't have a whole lot of problems. But one thing that I will note, that when I got this bar, it did have one of the anti-moisture packs in the barbell sleeve. That's the first time I've ever seen that done. I've seen other people put it in oil and wrap it up in cellophane and things like that. But this one actually had the anti-wicking packs in the actual barbell tube, so that if any moisture did get in there, there was a pack in there to soak it up. So when I received it, it looked just like this, brand new. It had that shiny chrome look to it. With Bear Steel, though, that will patina over time, even no matter how much you upkeep it. Your skin oils and just wear and tear, it will start getting a darker patina over time. It'll age with a lifter, or blue with a lifter, as you may have heard some of the popular people say. The Bear Steel bars do have the best feeling knurling. Whether you go the high end or low end, the basic thing on here is just going to be the upkeep. So I really like the bar. I recommend you guys take a look at it if you're interested in getting a new power bar. If you don't want something that's that aggressive. If you do want a more aggressive bar, they have other bars that are very aggressive, and you can look at those as well. I'm going to try to get some reviews out on those too, because I get a lot of questions on all the Bear Steel bars and the Iron Skull Power Bar in general, because it is one of the most aggressive bars out there for the price. This one is a little bit cheaper because it's the bare steel version. So you can get a solid bar for this price. They even have some boneyard bars from time to time. So it's something to look at, guys. One thing I also wanted to mention was these bare steel equipment bars. They do have what looks like similar to a snap ring design, but they have these round springs in here, and you can just get a screwdriver in there and pop this piece out. And I actually prefer a snap ring design, so I bought me some snap rings from Hillman just to replace there. I'll show here on the screen which actually ones I bought. I think it was the 1 5/8. I'll show you here the part number and everything, so you can get those if you want to upgrade your bar and what it looks like. Thanks for watching today, guys. Coach Carp. If you wanna look at those affiliate links or use that coupon code down in the description, we can save you some money at Bare Steel Equipment. Please like, comment, and subscribe on the video. And we'll see you next time. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you get yourself a new bar, I'd like to hear about it. Have a good one, guys. Take it easy.